here we've got a fan layout we just did. So it's 233 feet long. This section right here is 59 foot. Small calves, dry cows, heifers. Up here's some freestalls and a holding area, and they got a really small parlor. So this is a compact one building, does it all for 100 milking cows or so. So this is bedded pack down here, about 59 foot wide, or probably about 40 with a bedded pack, and 233 foot long including the calves. So I went with 4 24-foot fans. So these red dots are all 24-foot fans. And I went 25 foot from this end and then 52 foot in between. And it's not giving the calves quite as much as air, but you don't want to go much more than 50-some foot with bedded pack and the 24-foot fans. Up here with the freestalls, we got 3 fans and a 50-foot senders. And then I have one for the holding area, but then the footnotes it said something about an 11-foot headroom right here in this area, which I didn't quite understand. But if it is only 11 foot and they have a solid ceiling in, I would almost recommend panel fans rather than this fan, because they don't quite have enough of headroom. Because they're starting out at 11 and want to bring the blades down 3 foot. They're down to 8 foot, and somebody might get their hair combed down a little bit every so often. That's a layout I'd recommend. I'd really recommend 7 fans here. That'll do a good job across the whole barn. Probably I'd go panel fans. And I'll show you the 3 styles of fans that might go in here. So the type of fan that's going to go in is going to depend. They didn't, in the notes in the drawing, didn't really tell us about the ceiling style. So if there's no ceiling in that we can get to the truss, it'll be something right like this where the fan just bolts in between. And you can actually get the blades closer to the truss because there's room for the air to go up in. The more air that can get in the blades, the more efficient it is. And we have 4-foot and center truss mounts. Here, if you wanted to keep it as if you had air, if the air can get in the truss, with this style fan, we can go like up to 9 inches away from the truss, but you can't have a solid ceiling in and have the blades 9 inches below it. You got to have open truss for that application because it's nice to keep them up out of the way, but you can't do it. If you put a ceiling in, you just need plenty of room for air to come in. So if you had a ceiling in here, you can see we had a longer drop pipe. So these are about 7 or 8 foot from the ceiling. So the ceiling slopes. They have a solid ceiling, and so we had to keep it down far enough out here at the tips because the air has to come in up top and go down. So the more room there is for air to get into the fan, the more efficient it is at top speed. For livestock applications, we always want lots of air when it's hot. And so that means we want our top end to be as efficient as possible. So the further that, when you have a ceiling, the further down you bring it, the more efficient you are with a 24-foot fan, or any fan for that matter. For a 24-foot fan, the minimum is 3 foot, but you'll get more efficient if you have at least 6-7 foot of air to come in there at top speed. At low speeds, it doesn't really matter because there's not so much air needing to get in. And if you're a working environment, it don't really matter so much because for what you want for livestock is way beyond what is comfortable to work in a shop. So this is more of a livestock application. If you got a ceiling, you ought to have plenty of headspace for these fans so you get the most efficient possible in the high temperatures during the summertime.